I'm going to say this now, before we get started. You won't like it, but trust me, I've done this more times than I care to punish myself remembering. In a case like this, a kid, 9 times out of 10, it's someone close to home. Family, friend, neighbour, someone in the community. Don't forget that. However distraught they look, however unlikely it seems, they know who did it. Perhaps not consciously, and perhaps not yet, but they know. They know. The 20th of July, 2016, 2:05 a.m. Canal Manor Estate, Oxford. They say home buyers make up their mind about a house within 30 seconds of going inside. Well, take it from me, the average police officer takes less than 10. In fact, most of us have come to the judgment long before we go through the door. Only it's the people we're judging, not the property. So when we pull up outside 5 Barge Close, I have a pretty good idea what to expect. It's what used to be called an executive home. Perhaps still is, for all I know. They have money, these people, but not as much as they'd like. Or else they'd have bought a genuine Victorian house and not this reproduction version on a raw new estate the wrong side of the canal. It's the same red brick, the same bay windows, but the gardens are small and the garages huge. Not so much fake as downright forgery. The uniform posted at the front door tells me the family have already done the obligatory search of the house and garden. You'd be amazed how many times we find kids under beds or in wardrobes. They're not lost, they're just hiding. And most of these stories don't have happy endings either. But it seems that's not what we're dealing with here. As the duty inspector told me an hour ago when he woke me up, I know we wouldn't normally call you in this early, but this late at night, a kid that young, it feels all wrong. And the family were having a party, so people had started looking for her long before they called us. I decided pissing you off was the least of our worries. I'm not, actually. Pissed off, that is. And to be honest, I'd have done the same. Out the back's a bomb site, I'm afraid, sir, says the PC at the door. People must have been traipsing up and down all night. Bits of dead firework everywhere. Kids. Can't see forensics getting sod all out there, sir. Great, I think. Effing fantastic. Gislingham rings the bell and we stand at the door, waiting. He's shifting nervously from one foot to the other. Doesn't matter how many times you do it, you never get used to it. And when you do, it's time to quit. I take a last few gasps of fag and look back around the close. Despite the fact that it's 2 a.m, almost every house is glaring with light, and there are people at several of the upstairs windows. 2 patrol cars are parked on the scrubby bike-tracked grass opposite, their lights throbbing, and a couple of tired PCs are trying to keep the rubberneckers at a decent distance. There are half a dozen other officers on doorsteps talking to the neighbours. Then the front door opens, and I swing round. Mrs. Mason? She's heavier than I expected. Jowls already forming, and she can't be more than, mid-30s? She has a cardigan on over a party dress. A halter-neck leopard print job in a dull orangey colour that doesn't go with her hair. She glances down the street and then wraps the cardi tighter around herself. But it's hardly cold. It touched 90 today. D.I. Adam Fawley, Mrs. Mason, may we come in? Can you take your shoes off? The carpet's only just been cleaned. I never understood why people buy cream carpet, especially if they have children, but it hardly seems the moment to argue. So we bend over like a couple of school kids undoing our laces. Gislingham flashes me a look. There are hooks by the door labelled with the family's names, and their shoes are lined up by the mat, by size and colour. Jesus. Odd, though, what exposing your feet does to your brain. Padding around in socks makes me feel like an amateur. It's not a good start. The sitting room has an archway through to a kitchen with a breakfast bar. There are some women in there whispering, fussing about the kettle, their party makeup bleak in the unflinching neon light.